Hey, so I'm on week one of my 5 week writing retreat, and my single book idea exploded into an entire trilogy. And it's funny. I'm here at an Airbnb that I rented, and it's just a comedy of errors and just a crazy situation. I'll explain it all, but I'm having a lot of fun, and I kind of knew that I wanted to expand my idea for a novel into a trilogy. But at first, I thought I would, the first book would be the book I had in mind, and then I would create two other sequels, basically. But what happened was I have enough in my story that I'm actually expanding my one novel to over three novels. So, and I thought I was going to make it like on three different planets, but it's all going to be on one planet. It's all going to be my main story, but stretched over three books. And so I've been working on that, and it's been great. I've identified my midpoints and climaxes for each book, because that's like, the spine of the story, right? Each book has to stand on its own, but then the entire trilogy has to stand on its own. And so it took me a while to, with the story I had in mind, to figure out the midpoints and the climaxes of each book. So that was a pretty good accomplishment, I thought, and I'm happy about it. And now the climax of the whole story, which will be the climax of book 3, is like way beyond what I originally had in mind. It just got amped up to an amazing level. And so now it's interesting. Now when I think about book 1, it's kind of like a little tame or like ho-hum. Like I'm wondering if book 1 is going to be even interesting, because book 2 escalates and then book 3 goes through the roof. But I'm hoping it works. I think it will work. I mean, this is my first time writing, fiction. So I'm learning as I go, but I kind of wanted to write a trilogy in many ways because of the marketing. Because anyway, I'm going to talk a lot more about marketing on my channel, but yeah. So regarding the tools that I'm using, I am using AI to help me brainstorm a lot, and it really helps. And in terms of like outlining and brainstorming, like Gemini 2.5 Pro has been very good. It's better than the rest. I've been trying Claude Opus 4.1, and I tried Grok a few times, but Grok doesn't seem to do anything. And which other one? Oh, DeepSeek. DeepSeek is interesting, but anyway, Gemini has been just great. Also, I'm back to using Scrivener. I had started using it a while back. I've been working on this novel for about a year. Between a year and a half. It kind of started slow, but anyway, I was using Scrivener, and now I'm using Scrivener, and I'm loving the corkboard layout because I get to put all my ideas in there, and I can move them around, very easily. So it's really pretty cool. I'm also using Novel Crafter, which is just, I love Novel Crafter so much. I have all my characters and all my magic in the codex, and it's just great. Yeah, so I have the tools, and I'm having fun on this retreat. The Airbnb situation is really kind of funny. This place I'm in is actually an old candy store, believe it or not. And I'm in a very small town. It's a pretty nice town, but it's very small, and the trains go by like every hour, and they're really loud. It's unbelievable how loud the trains are. The first night I went to sleep and I got woken up like horribly, like 5 times. But with the windows closed, it's okay. But also the dogs in this area, like the dogs just start barking, and they just all start barking at the same time. It's really loud. It's kind of funny, but it's also kind of weird. And, since I've been staying by myself, I've been eating less, which has a little side benefit of eating less and dropping a little bit of weight. So that's interesting. So I got a couple questions from social media to answer about my writing retreat, and I think I mentioned it, but I'm basically giving you the update of week 1 of 5. So I'm going to be here for 5 weeks, and I don't know exactly how much I'll get done. I mean, there's a lot to do now that I've expanded it into a trilogy. And I wanted to make a remark about that. You know, when it was one book, you know, the story, I kind of had it almost fully outlined. But when now that I've expanded it into 3 books, book 2 seems to be pretty light in plot and that kind of thing. So that might take a little time to like figure out, you know, how to fill book 2 and what needs to happen and all that. But there's a lot that needs to happen, so I'm not worried about it. It's just going to take a little work to figure out what goes into that. So, question, what led to the decision to go on a writing retreat? Yeah, I mean, I was working on my book at home, but you know, at home, you know, you have the family and you have things going on, and you can get a couple hours of dedicated work, maybe even 3 hours, maybe even 4 hours, but like then there's all this other stuff going on, and I just would get sidetracked, and I'm like, I really felt like I needed to go somewhere and really focus. And so far, this solo writing retreat has been everything I've wanted it to be. And I've only gotten done with about a week, really about a week and a half. But the other question, how much did you already have figured out before going on the retreat in terms of plot and character, etc.? I had a lot figured out. I really did. That's what I've been working on for more than a year, is the characters, the plot, and the magic, and that kind of stuff, and you know, the relationships, and like you know, one main subplot. So I've been doing a lot of work. I haven't actually started writing it. I still haven't started writing it. So that's just my process so far. And anyway, this is a week 1 update. It's really very interesting taking the time to spend and to focus on writing my books now, in plural. So yeah, so that's really it. That's the update. I think I'll definitely give an update every week because, you know, hopefully I'm going to make a lot of progress each week. I know I will. And I also feel in general that I'm doing a lot of the foundational work, and I have been for more than a year. And like, by the time I'm ready to start writing, like I'm going to have most of the details figured out, like probably all the details figured out, because I want to make a detailed outline. Because I'm not a writer, by the way. Like I'm not, I mean, I wrote a nonfiction self-help book about 16 years ago, which was great. But that's a self-help book, and I love it, but it's not fiction. And I've never been a writer. I've never been good at writing. So it might take a while to do the actual writing, but also my personality and my way of thinking about the story and the way that I've been learning about storytelling, I really love the idea of outlining a lot and really having pretty much everything figured out by the time I start writing. So that's my plan. That's my goal. All right, that's it. Thank you for watching this. If you want to subscribe, please do. I'll be giving more updates. And that's it. I hope you're doing great, and I'll talk to you soon.